All right, this is going to be a sort of different style, different type of video than we've done. And your assignment's going to be a little bit different from anything you've done as well. In this one, we're going to be using this desmos.com/geometry website. So when you get to the assignment, this a link to this website will be attached to that assignment. And I'm just going to give you some tasks to do for 3 different types of transformations that we've learned so far. So the first thing I want to talk about, we have this select button here. And if you find yourself accidentally drawing things instead of selecting things, you probably just need to switch to that select tool. There's also an undo button up here. You can hit Control-Z to undo. And the first thing I want you to do is turn on your grid. All right, so that's this little wrench up here, you show grid. That'll make it easier to draw our shapes. So what we're gonna need with our first one, this is gonna be the video for a translation. What we need to do is we're gonna need an X and a Y axis. So over here, make sure you're on construct. We're gonna draw a line. And careful, it's not a segment. We're going to draw a line, because if I do a segment and I just go from here to here, my X and Y axis won't go forever. So I need to do a line, because a line goes forever. And I'm just going to choose, how about from here to maybe, I don't know, there. I have an X axis. Now my Y axis is going to be vertical, so let's choose from here. There, we've got a Y axis. Now I don't really like where that Y axis is, so I'm going to click the select tool and I'm going to move it. I didn't think it was really in the middle. And I think that my x-axis, I'd prefer if it was up a little bit, because my camera's down on the bottom and I want to work a little bit higher up. So the next thing we want to do is I want to draw a polygon. Now, if you don't know what a polygon is, it's a shape that is completely enclosed, that, like, notice that whatever I do here, it's going to create a shape that's completely enclosed. It means there's no openings on the outside. So we're going to create a polygon. How about just a triangle? So you'll choose your points. Let me start over on my polygon. We'll choose a point, choose another point, and choose a third point. Notice that my triangle hasn't completed itself. I've got to go all the way back to where I started and click there. And now I'm going to go back to my select tool, because if I want to move this, I want to move this. But if I try and move it, notice I'm just drawing points again. So I'm going to just draw an extra triangle and then undo, get rid of it. I'm going to go to the select tool, and notice you can move this triangle around just by clicking on it and dragging it. So I'm going to put it over here in this quadrant over here, in quadrant 1. It doesn't need to be anywhere specifically, just I'm going to roughly put it right here. And now I want to do a translation. Now remember, a translation is where this shape is going to slide somewhere. Notice, remember, it goes down and then to the left, or it goes to the left and then down, or maybe it just goes to the left, or it goes down to the right. Some sort of direction. If we're going to start in this quadrant, I want to end up in this quadrant, so we're going to go down and to the left. Now it's not going to be as tricky as using select points and counting and stuff. We don't have specific points on this. I mean, we could. I mean, I could say, okay, this point right here is A, and we're going to have our A prime is going to be right here. In fact, I'll do it that way. So here's my A prime. So I want to go to my transform button here on the top. So what I did, I didn't say it, but I drew this point, and just somewhere down here. And I'm going to take this point, we're going to call that one A. We're going to move that shape down here to A prime. We're going to call that A prime. It's not labeled, but I just want to show you we can move this shape from here down to here. So let's do it. By the way, if you don't really like the shape of your triangle, you can adjust it. You can change the shape of your triangle. So whatever you want to do. We'll do this triangle. How about that? We're going to move this triangle down to this A prime. So we'll hit transform. We're going to define a transformation. So you just hit this. And remember, we're doing a translation. We'll do a couple other videos where we do reflection and rotation. But in this one, we're going to do a translation. So it says choose what point are we going to start from. So it says from, and the next one's going to be to. So we're going to start from this point. So we got a little check mark that says I've selected a point. We're going to move this point to right here. So I've chosen 2 points. It says select some objects to apply this transformation. So now I'm just going to click on my triangle. Might have to click it a couple times apparently. I think it thought that I was moving my triangle. And then you want to hit this apply button, and notice it's going to duplicate my triangle, and it moves it down and to the left. And I could say it went down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 5, it left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So down 5, left 9. But I wasn't really worried about that specifically because I can adjust that translation. And now see that instead of going down 5, it went down 4 and left 9. From here, it went down 3 and left 9. But if we were to adjust our translated image, our new image, notice that my translation stays the same. It's still down 9 or down 5, left 9. If I move this up here, it's kind of off my screen. It still goes down 5, left 9. And I can adjust that. So one other thing we've done when we had translations, transformations, reflections, all kinds of transformations, is we decided, are these shapes congruent or are they similar? Now, similar means the same shape, but different size. But remember, with a translation, they're always congruent, which means they're exactly the same size. They're exactly the same shape. So what do you think will happen if I take my pre-image, my triangle that we drew at the start, and I adjust it a little bit? Remember, I was changing the size of that triangle. I was changing the shape a little bit. But if I change this here, I wonder if our translated image will change as well. Let's see. Kind of looks like it does. So I moved this vertex sort of to the left, down a little bit, and the same thing happened on my translated image here. So we can modify these. We can change this to an obtuse triangle. It's an obtuse triangle. It has an obtuse angle here. We could change it to a right triangle. We could make it an acute triangle with 3 acute angles. And our image down here also stays congruent. Okay. So I'm going to do one more transformation, one more translation, just to remind you guys, show you guys how to do this. And then at the very end of this video, I'll just I'll explain what you need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my construct here, and I'm going to choose all my stuff, and I'm just going to get rid of it. So I can drag this rectangle and it'll select it, or I can just click on it. No, maybe not. So I got rid of everything, and we're going to draw another shape. So we're going to draw another polygon. This time I'm just going to make something kind of crazy. And then we'll say, what is that? I don't know, some sort of hand claw thing. I'm not sure. We can move it around, and if I don't really like it, I can change it a little bit. So let's change it just a little bit. We'll say it's actually a fox. I don't know. So I've got this fox here, and I'm going to now do a transformation, and I'm going to do a translation. So it says, again, we're going to choose one point that we're going to start from. Let's start here at this bottom right thing, because I want to move it down. I want to move it over here. So we're going to move that point to right here. And now it says select some objects to apply this transformation. Well, I choose my fox shape. Once this apply button comes up, that means I've clicked on it and I apply. It'll duplicate my shape and moves it down here where I was trying to. Now I don't really want to specify. I don't need to specify how far down, how far to the right. That's not really the point of this lesson. The point of this one is to just make some shapes and do some translations on our own. So let's say instead of going down and to the right, we actually translated from down here, we go up and to the right. So I can move that around, and we can move it over here. Now our translation went up and to the left. I'm just showing what translations look like. And remember, if I change my pre-image, my image should change as well, because you have like a sword from the Ninja Turtles. I forget what those kinds are called. Yeah, whatever I do to this shape will happen to my image. So for your assignment, what you're going to have to do, I'm just going to refresh and I'm going to start over. You're going to have to show me 2 translations. So what you'll need to do, you'll need to, step 1, you go in here, turn on the grid. Step 2, get your line tool and draw me an X and a Y axis. There's my X, there's my Y. Step 3, draw me some kind of shape. Step 4, go to transformation, define a transformation, click translation. So we're going to start from here. You can choose any of these points, by the way. And we're going to move it down here. Now we need to select our shape. So I'm choosing this pentagon. It's got 5 sides. And I'm going to apply that. And here it is. That's one. It's done. Easy enough. So the next thing you need to do is draw another one. You can draw anything you want. There's my shape. Be creative though. Don't be like, make a cool fox or a sword or something. I think that's more fun. And I'm going to transform. I'm going to do another translation. So I'm going to define a translation. Let's choose from this point, and let's move it over here to this point. Choose our shape and apply it. Well, that didn't work. Oh, I used the wrong transformation. So let's undo. Select this shape and apply it. Translation number 2. I do need to get rid of this one because it was wrong. Translation number 2 is applied to 2 objects. Oh, interesting. Well, we'll just leave it. So I have this translation that happened between my pentagon at the beginning has also happened to my new shape that I just drew over here. But remember, if you modify this pre-image, it should change the shape from your other image. I don't think we can add points to our shape, so if you're planning on really changing this from like your penguin guy, or kind of looks like the dude from I don't even know what movie that is. Never mind. I don't know. Never mind. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So you just gotta draw me 2 translations. So start with a shape, define transformation, do a translation, put it somewhere, move them around, play around with it. I want to see at least 2 different translations on your screen. If they overlap, it's okay because I can see where they're at. I would recommend not letting them overlap, but that's weird. I don't know why that's happening. This is weird. But at the end of your assignment, what you need to do, go ahead and just open PageMarker and take a screenshot. That'll save an image for you. And then I want you to just upload that picture to your assignment. And then I'll be able to see that you've done your translations.